Alright. Hello, 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 everyone. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Alright, so getting ready to get OSUT day one going here. Just waiting on the PB1s to get loaded into the server. Hey, going pretty good, brother. How are you doing? Hey, right on, man. Glad to hear you're feeling a little better. You gonna fill in tonight? Hey, Salvatore. Yeah, I will be filling in as well. Seen today that Richie is back, so I'll have to hook up with him and tell him I need a spot. Pepsi or Dr. Pepper? Definitely go with Dr. Pepper. See? Cope knows. Depends on what the family's doing right on. I'm doing pretty good, Sal. Got a fun-filled day ahead of me. Hey, quick. I am doing well, thank you, bud. Yeah, you gotta make an appearance with family every once in a while. Oh, hopefully this class hangs together. We actually got 8 PV1s up there, so it'd be nice to be able to get all 8 of them into the unit. You got a pudding pop? You fucker. Or pudding cup, I should say. Yeah, I seen that LaRue was Zeus, and unfortunately I can't fucking watch. That's kind of the shitty thing is I've been streaming so much lately. Uh, a lot of the times our streams like overlap, so I don't get to watch his stuff. What up, AA Ron? How's work going today? Pretty sure you said you had to work this Saturday. Rolling out now, nice. Gonna be kind of your typical day, not getting back till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm actually looking forward to tonight. It'll be the first time I've gotten to just fill in quite a long time. It sucks, but pizza won't by itself. Yeah, very, very true, brother. Now try not to run over any Mazdas or other small cars while you're out there. Yeah, it's been like over a month since I've gotten to just fill in. Been having to either Zeus or be Task Force Commander because Hammer was on LOA. Yeah, I don't know. They're having fucking mod issues, I guess. I don't know how. We haven't fucking updated anything in quite a while. It's starting to fucking piss me off, though. It's already fucking 10 after. Oh, right on, Quick. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I like doing it for sure. Hey, Dexter. Yeah, I wish I could use a Mark 19 tonight. Unfortunately, you're not going to be working with gun trucks. No real killing today, jacked up. It's pretty much all lecture today. Teaching them how to use radios, how to properly communicate on the radios, and then some weapons familiarization, and then head out to the range and shoot a little bit, throw a couple grenades, fire a couple AT4s. Preparing for holidays. What holidays do you got coming up? Like explosions? Well, I think all of us do. Well, they kind of get have to get it straightened out because not a single one of them have fucking loaded in yet, and the like I can't do a class if none of them fucking load in. Not enough caffeine yet. That's why I'm smashing a fucking cup of coffee right now. Jesus, I'm an idiot. I didn't even see him standing there. They're not supposed to load in there. It's where recruits load in. And OSUT trainees load in directly in front of me. Hey, we'll see you later, quick.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
Legend, thank you for the follow. Yeah, cope exactly. Day one is pretty much always a fucking pain in the dick, though. Video from TFA has 100 views and you only have 23 subs. Nice. And we got dumbasses that can't connect under the correct fucking profile. I mean, Jesus Christ. Uh, hey Ron, when you're around tomorrow, remind me to put your YouTube in my recommended channels on my YouTube. Alright, so we got 5 so far. It's like 2 more left to load. Hey Casper. Today we got OSUT going. Teaching the guys how to talk on the radios and some weapons familiarization today. Oh, I know I have you on my YouTube. I just don't have you in my recommended channels. And by the time I get done with class today, I'm sure I'll forget. Yeah, he does have a point. You know, nobody can agree on how to say your last name. Or your first name, for that matter. Sad now, why is that? Must you have some kind of mental deficiency? Very true. Oh no! Fucking pudding catastrophe. That's fucking snack pack abuse, man. Right on, Casper. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. Even guys that have military training still have to go through this because there are things that we do that we have to do differently. Hey, Tetran, I am doing well, bud. How are you? I don't know, Yogi. They actually started fucking showing up. Now it's just a matter of how many of them will last. There's always more on day one than what there is on day four.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pile?
Fucking Cope. Uh, Cope says, because fuck it, why not? Hope you and the missus have a great vacation. Love you guys. Thank you, Cope. You're an absolute badass, bro. We ever all get a chance to meet up, I'm sure, between you and AA Ron, Sid's gonna end up fucking strangling one of you guys in a bear hug. Thank you so much, brother. Yes, Salvatore's name is too long. Pretty sure that's why everyone calls him Sal. Good job being fucked up and having too long of a name, Sal. You had a snafu on top of the fucking pudding cup?
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
Destroyer, thank you for the follow. God damn, I already went through my fucking cigarettes I had rolled up. I'll fucking roll a couple more real quick. Give me just a minute, guys, and I will be right back. Alright, we are back. Yes, I'm killing myself slowly. You, me, and Cope. Fucking all three of us. Yeah, exactly. It's way, way fucking cheaper to roll your own. I mean, yeah, it's more of a pain in the ass, but when you see the price difference, it's like, yeah, I can't turn that away. I also tend to smoke a lot when I'm doing this shit. Whether it be OSUT or I'm filling in or whatever, like I smoke a lot more than what I normally do.
So, Achin, what's the password again?
Yeah, it is a lot easier when you're in a fucking turret. Pack of smokes is right about $6 a pack, depending upon, what brand you're buying and shit. Wow, that's actually surprising, because North Carolina, they're even cheaper than what they are here. Yeah, that guy's mic is fucking dog shit and definitely needs to be worked on. Alright, gentlemen, we're gonna get the first part of this going while a couple of you that are left. You will speak when I tell you to fucking speak. You sure as shit will not interrupt me again. We are gonna get the first part of this going while the last couple of you are fucking loading in. So, firstly, welcome to OSUT Day 1. It's been a general clusterfuck up to this point. How you guys are able to fuck up mods between recruit training and here is beyond me, but I can assure you this. If the same shit happens tomorrow, you guys will immediately be recycled. Does everybody understand this? Alright. Now, as you guys can see pretty plainly, my name is First Sergeant Brewer. You can address me as First Sergeant or First Sergeant Brewer. Nothing more, nothing less. You've already been introduced to Sergeant Myers. I am as well today joined by Sergeant Loster. Now, as I just alluded to, if at any point in time you have a question that you wish us to answer, you will type a Q inside chat as you see there. If you have a comment to make, you will type a C like that. At no point in time will you interrupt myself or one of my instructors. Is that understood? Alright, so throughout your time here in OSUT, it's a 4-day course. Each day you will be learning something new, building upon what you have learned the day prior. Now today we are going to be going over the basics of radio protocol, communication, and some weapons familiarization. Going to be a lot of lecturing today. Now that being said, each day we'll kind of be teaching you something new, and I highly recommend you take notes, mostly for your quiz. Yes, you did hear me correctly, quiz. At the end of day 4, you will be taking an oral quiz. That quiz is a go, no-go exercise, meaning if you fail that quiz, you automatically get recycled back to day 1. However, I will tell you, it is impossible for you to fail that quiz if you take notes. Does everyone understand this? Alright. Now, before we get going any farther, does anyone have any questions on what we are about to begin? Yeah, guys, I muted it for a second. Alright, as I told you, today we're going to be going over the basics of how to set up your radio, how to properly communicate on that radio, how to use proper pro words and phrasers, and then we will move on to weapons familiarization, giving you guys a rundown of some of the different weapon systems that we use here in the unit, and then we will head out to the range and give you guys some actual hands-on time with those weapon systems. Now, as I said, it's going to be a lot of lecturing. You guys are going to have a lot of information thrown at you. Again, make sure you have paper and pen ready to take notes. Make sure you guys have some type of liquids ready. If you need a little fucking snack sitting next to you because you get a little famished, I will give you guys a quick 5 minutes right now. Go take a piss, grab something to drink, grab some food, fucking rub one out, whatever the hell it is you got to do. You've got 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, we're going to get this class going. That time starts now.
Roger, first arc.
Yes, sir.
No, Loster isn't in. S3 is just helping out. Mohu and Nikita, thank you for the follows. Not technically, Aaron. Like, you'll still get promoted in reserves. It just takes 3 times as long. So, I mean, eventually you will get to specialist. It'll just take a long time. Unless I ever decide to abuse my powers and just meritoriously promote you. Which is never gonna happen. Oh yeah, the points is fairly easy to get, because like you said, you fill in all the time. It's the TIG that is difficult for someone in reserves to get, because you only get 1/3 the normal rate. You only earn 1 day for every 3 that you spend at that rank.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
Matthew and Jeremy, thank you guys for the follows. You actually could go active, you just need to go into a squad that does Sunday trainings. Like if you went into like 1-3 or something that does trainings on Sundays, you'd be fucking golden. considering you're here Sundays anyways.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
Yeah, a lot of squads do Sunday trainings. Actually, I think the majority of squads do Sunday trainings. Oh shit, yeah, I know. Believe me, I used to do fucking OSUT on Sunday and then squad training and then operation. Janie, if it makes you feel any better, I'm the only company HQ guy here.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
Tactical Band-Aid, thank you for the follow. And Solo as well, thank you for the follow. Alright, 5 minutes is up. We're going to get this going. Private DeLang, you're not in the server yet. You are going to need to recycle. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to head over to the classroom to get through the basics of setting up your guys' radio and communication. So you guys are going to fall into a file that is a straight vertical line and follow Sergeant Myers into the classroom. When you get into the classroom, you're going to grab a radio off the table to your left, and you are going to remove your cover. If you don't know what a cover is, that's the thing on your fucking head. Sergeant Myers, go ahead and take them out. Would you believe me, AA Ron, if I told you that's what I said when I first joined the unit? I don't want to be any higher than a PV2. I'm just going to be a rifleman in a fire team. That fucking worked out, didn't it? Hey, Kerr, how's it going, brother?
Take a seat.
Yeah, exactly. It never fucking lasts. I'll be glad when Lewis is able to get rid of that bug. Yeah, exactly. You fucked up that low profile thing before you even joined the unit. Alright, gentlemen. What I want you to do is hold left control on your keyboard and press P as in Papa. Open up your radio. Everyone see the ARN or whatever fucking PRC 152 short range radio. It looks like a big green fucking rectangle.
No for Sergeant.
No for Sergeant.
Did everyone grab a radio off the table when they came in?
No for Sergeant.
He's not a first sergeant.
It was the first problem for Sergeant. They didn't grab radios. And I heard you tell them to.
Alright. I'm going to give you guys a basic rundown of how this works. I'm going to give you an instruction. You are going to follow the instruction. When you fail to follow the instruction, I'm going to bust your balls for being a fucking idiot. First and foremost, do not take it personally. It is not my job to fucking praise you, coddle fuck you, or hold your hand in any way, shape, or form. It is my job to point out your flaws and fuck-ups so that you do not continue to make them. You will learn very quickly that when you fuck up on very simple instructions, it is not going to work out well for you. So, those of you incapable of following the simple fucking instructions I gave you before you even moved into this classroom, go ahead and use your scroll wheel, stand up, walk over to that table, grab yourself a radio, and then move back to your seat. Alright, now everybody hold left control on their keyboard and press P as in Papa. Does everybody see their radio now?
Yes, for Sergeant. Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is go over what all the buttons on this thing does. So starting from the top, that middle stalk with the numbers on it, that is your volume control. If you right click it, it increases volume. You left click it, decreases volume. Directly down from there, you have your display. That's that light green rectangle. That will show you two pieces of information. It will show you the current channel you are on, as well as the frequency that channel is tuned to. Alright, so it'll say C1 and a random series of numbers. That C1 is your channel, a random series of numbers is the frequency. Understand that a channel and a frequency are two different things. Now below there, you have all of your buttons. The 1 through 9 buttons don't do anything. Just disregard those. Alright, so we're going to start at the top right corner where it says CLR. That is to clear a frequency. When you're going to be typing in a new frequency, which you will do every single time, you will click that first. Directly beneath that, you have the ENT button, or enter button. That is how you will set a frequency. So when you clear out a frequency, type in the new freak, and then you will click that ENT, and it will set that frequency. Directly beneath that, you have the PRE button. PRE plus goes up a channel. PRE minus goes down a channel. Alternatively, you can use the numbers on your numpad to switch channels quickly. Next to that, you have that right-facing arrow. Do not ever click that button. That button will set your short-range radio to speakers. You never set your short-range radio to speakers. If you do, anytime someone hails you on the radio, it will be heard by everyone within 20 meters of you. Oftentimes, it causes a shit ton of feedback. Those of us wearing headsets will want to rip your fucking head off, so don't do it. Next, you have the left-facing arrow. That left-facing arrow will set an additional channel. That is a way for you to monitor and speak on two channels at any given time. This is used by everyone in a leadership position. Alright, you guys will be taught how to do this. Lastly, in the bottom left, you have the stereo settings button, the 0 button. This will make it so that you can hear a channel through only one ear. Incredibly important if you're listening to multiple channels at the same time. All right, does anybody have any questions on the basic button mapping of the radio?
No, for Sergeant.
All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to program a couple channels in for you guys so you understand how it works. So right now, it should say C1 and a random series of numbers on your radio. I want you guys to go up to the top right button, that CLR, and click that. It will delete that random series of numbers after C1. Once those numbers are gone, in that box, you are going to type 100.1. Once you have 100.1 in there, you're going to click ENT and set that frequency. Once that frequency is set, you're going to go down to that very bottom left button, that stereo settings button, and click that once. And you should see it pop up in the corner of your screen and say that left ear only. So it means you're hearing that channel in only your left ear. And once you have that done, you're going to hit the PRE plus button, or the number 2 on your number pad, and go to channel 2. Now all of you should be looking at C2 in a random series of numbers, correct?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. Now, you're going to hit that CLR button, clear that frequency out, type in the numbers 100, and then hit the ENT button. Once 100 is set as the frequency for your second channel, you're going to hit that left facing arrow to set it as an additional channel. That will change it from C2 to A2. So from Charlie 2 to Alpha 2. Once that says Alpha 2, you're going to go to that stereo settings button in the bottom left and click that twice. And you should see it pop up that says additional right ear only. Now once you have done this, this now means that you have channel 1 set as 100.1 and your additional channel 2 set as 100. Anytime that you set an additional channel, you have to make sure to set your radio back to your primary frequency or your primary freak. Alright, so go back to channel 1 by clicking PRE minus or hitting the 1 on your number pad. Again, make sure you do this any time that you set up an additional channel. If you do not, the only channel you will hear is your additional channel or whatever channel your radio is currently on. The only channel that you can hear when you're not on that channel is the A2. Alright, so now everyone should be looking at C1 100.1, correct?
Yes, for Sergeant. Yes, for Sergeant.
So right now all of you should hear me speaking to you in your left ear, correct?
Yes, for Sergeant. Yes, for Sergeant. Yes, for Sergeant.
And now all of you should hear me speaking to you in your right ear, correct?
Yes, for Sergeant. Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright, there you go. You guys now know how to properly set up a radio and how to set up multiple channels for said radio. Now that being said, as far as the volume on a radio, obviously that is subjective. It's entirely up to you guys what volume you want your radio on. I generally leave mine at default, which is 80. It's loud enough that you can hear over firefights, but it's not so loud that it's raping your fucking eardrums. Alright, but again, that's entirely up to you. Just make sure you do have it set loud enough that you can hear orders when they're issued. Now the next thing we're going to go on to is how to actually speak on the radios. Alright, the first thing we're going to go over is the phonetics. Alright, if you've never heard of phonetics, it's essentially a way to pronunciate things more clearly so that they cannot be confused with anything else. Alright, and the first thing we're going to go over is phonetic numerals. Alright, phonetic numerals are pretty much identical to normal everyday numerals with 3 main exceptions. Alright, that is the numbers 3, 5, and 9. Alright, 3, 5, and 9. Pronounced phonetically, 3 is tree, as in the thing with fucking leaves on it. 5 is fife, F-I-F-E. And 9 is niner. Alright, everybody knows that one. Now, that does not mean that you need to use phonetic numerals all the goddamn time. Alright, you don't have to say tree every single time you say 3. Phonetics are used when there's a likelihood that someone could misunderstand what you are saying. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Next, we have the phonetic alphabet. We use the NATO phonetic alphabet. Alright. NATO phonetic alphabet is pretty simple. You guys probably already know the bulk of it. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, so on and so forth. I'm not going to go through all 26 fucking letters. It is on your student reference document. Alright, but understand we use the NATO phonetic alphabet. We do not use the civilian phonetic alphabet of, you know, whatever the fuck it is they use for... They use a bunch of, like, first names and shit.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam and shit like that. So that is the NATO phonetic alphabet. And the phonetic alphabet we use every single time. That's not one where, you know, you only say alpha if you're worried someone might misunderstand you. Alright, if you're saying A, you say alpha. Next, we go into procedure words and phrases, or pro words and phrases. Procedure words and phrases are essentially a way for us to pass along large amounts of information while saying very little. Alright, this allows us to practice brevity. Alright, essentially we practice brevity due to how many people are on a radio frequency. Alright, what I mean by that is, at any given time, you could have anywhere from 3 to 6 people that could potentially need to speak on a radio frequency at one time. And so brevity is incredibly important to us. We need to keep our communications clear and concise and as short as possible. All right, and pro words help with that. So the first one we're going to be going over is break. Break simply means I hereby indicate the separation of the text from other portions of the message. What that means in retardese is it's a period in a sentence. All right. So if you're sending a long message and you got to stop to take a break, to take a breath, you'll say break, let go of your transmit key, take a breath, hit your key again, and then continue on with your transmission. All right. Now, a variation of this is to say break 3 times in a row. If you come over a net and say break, 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 all right, that is essentially breaking someone else's message. So a situation where that is used is if someone is sending traffic on a radio frequency that you need to send emergency traffic on, say you have a tank roll up on your position, you will immediately cut in on their message and say break, 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 emergency traffic, and then start sending your message. By the time you start sending your message, they're already going to be done talking. Because as soon as you hear break, break, break on the radio, you cease all communication and allow them to send their traffic. Now, there are different levels, if you will, of communication. All right, there's standard priority, there's emergency traffic, as well as priority traffic. All right, and actually I kind of flip those around. It's standard priority, priority traffic, and emergency traffic. All right, so you kind of scale it up from there. Emergency traffic obviously being the most important, which emergency traffic is, like I said, it's a situation where, say, you have a tank roll up on you and you're in immediate danger. All right, that is emergency traffic. For that, you can cut off anybody and everybody. Priority traffic would be something like you have guys wounded and you need to get a mic over to you, which is a medic. That is priority traffic. That is not emergency traffic. If someone else is sending a message with pertinent information, if they're sending also priority traffic, like the location of enemy armor that's engaging people, you wouldn't break them for that because you have the same priority traffic essentially, or the same scale of traffic. Is everybody understanding that?
Yes, for Sergeant.
All right. Next one we're going to cover is correction. All right, correction means an error has been made in this transmission. The transmission will continue with the last word correctly transmitted. All right, so we use this so that you're not fucking around over your words on the radio and saying a bunch of times and shit like that because you got something wrong. All right, if you fuck up and the last 3 digits of the grid you send are wrong, or whatever the situation may be, just say correction, go back to where you were last correct, and continue sending your message. All right, it's pretty simple. Next one that you'll hear guys say quite a bit is disregard. Or disregard is exactly as the word means. You disregard it. You pretend as if you never heard it. All right, pretty simple. All right, the next one, read back. All right, read back can be a command given or a response to a command given. All right, so myself, if I was giving a grid coordinate to one of my subordinates, and at the end of the grid coordinate, say, if I told them reference grid 160168, read back, that's letting him know that I want him to read back that message that I just sent him. So then they would respond to me, I read back grid 160168. All right, everybody tracking on that? It's pretty simple.
Yes, for Sergeant. Yes, for Sergeant.
All right. Next one is say again. Say again means to simply say again all of your transmission. You can also use a variation of this and use say again all before if you didn't catch the first part of their transmission, or say again all after if you didn't catch the ass end of their transmission. We use say again we use say again instead of repeat. All right, because repeat is used for fire missions and cast runs. All right, this is something that we take very, very seriously. All right, I will tell you now, vast majority of the guys in this unit don't even say repeat in their normal everyday conversations anymore because of how much we drill it into people's heads not to say fucking repeat. All right, so you will say again. And I will tell you that throughout your time here in OSUT, if at any point you say repeat, I will immediately drop a mortar on your nutsack. Is that understood?
Yes, for Sergeant. Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. Alright, the next one we're going to go over is over. Over means this is the end of my transmission to you and a response is necessary. Go ahead and transmit. Alright. So what that means is, if you're talking to someone, you send them a message, and you need them to respond, you need them to provide you information back, you are going to say over at the end of your transmission. Alright? Alternatively, if you are not the one that initiated the call, meaning someone else called you on the radio, you are going to continue to say over at the end of every transmission you send until they end the conversation. Alright, if they call you, think of it as a phone call. Alright, if they call you on the radio, they're the one that hangs up the phone, not you. So you continue to say over until they end the transmission. They end the transmission by using the next pro word, which is out. Out means this is the end of my transmission to you and a response is not necessary or expected. Alright, it essentially means I am done talking to you. Alright, so out is how you hang up the phone, if you will. Alright. And again, if you are not the one that initiated the call, you do not say out. Essentially, you do not hang up on someone. They hang up on you. Alright. The only situation where the non-initiating calling station will say out is if it's a higher level of leadership. So me as higher, if one of my platoon sergeants calls me on the radio and we're going back and forth in our transmissions and I get priority traffic from my JTAC, I will out him to speak to my JTAC. Doesn't matter if he called me first. I'm higher. I can out him whenever the hell I please if I have other traffic to attend to. Alright. Now understand that over means something completely different than out. Right? Over means I need a response. Out means I do not. So for that reason, do not ever say over and out on the fucking radio. That is made up Hollywood bullshit. No one says that. They mean two completely different things. And if you do say it, you'll look like a fucking idiot. Does everybody understand?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. Next one is Roger. Roger means I have received your last transmission satisfactorily. Alright, simply put, it means I heard you. That is it. It is not a response to an order given, nothing. It just means I heard you. Same thing with affirmative. Alright, if someone is asking you a yes or no question, you respond with affirmative if the answer is yes. If the answer is no, you respond with negative. If it is not a yes or no question, then you respond with Roger. Alright, does everybody understand the difference between affirmative, negative, and Roger?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. Next is Wilco. Alright, Wilco means will comply. That is a response to an order given. So if, say, your team leader or squad leader or so on gives you an order to do something, if you are going to do it, you respond with Wilco. Alright. You do not respond with affirmative. You do not respond with Roger. Right? They are issuing you an order. So you respond with Wilco, which again means will comply. So understand that Roger means something completely different than Wilco. So do not say Roger Wilco on the fucking radio. Again, made up Hollywood bullshit. You look like a fucking idiot. Don't do it. Alright. Anybody have any questions on that?
Negative for Sergeant.
Excellent. All right, the next one we're going to go over is actually towards the end. There's another one in the middle here, but we'll go over that in a second. And that is wait. All right, wait simply means hang on. All right, so a situation where that's used. Okay, if someone hails you on the radio and you're busy with other shit, you can respond back to them, wait one, over. All right, and then they'll respond back, Roger, standing by, something along those lines. All right, and then when you're done doing whatever the fuck it is you're doing, you can then go back to them and say, all right, send your traffic. Alternatively, you can say, wait 5, out. All right, you say out, that means they are not to respond to you. Generally, that's used when you're very busy or you're in the middle of a huge fucking firefight. But generally, that is used by hire. It's not really used by guys in fire teams or anything like that. But understand that if you're in the middle of something that is taking all of your concentration at that time, you can tell someone to wait. All right, they will not send you the message. All right, so you don't have to get overwhelmed. You can tell someone to wait a minute and they'll hang on. That being said, that goes into next part of our communications, or the next pro word, which is this is. All right, this is means this transmission is from the station whose designation immediately follows. All right, what that means in layman terms, every person from a team leader and above has their own calling station. Right? Understand that a calling station and a call sign are two different things. Right? Our call sign for the infantry is Havoc. The entirety of the company has a call sign of Havoc. Our calling stations are something completely different. Myself, my calling station is Havoc 7. So if anybody says Havoc 7, I am the only person they can be talking to. I am the only Havoc 7 in the unit. Sergeant Myers, what is your calling station?
Havoc 2-1, First Sergeant.
So Sergeant Myers is Havoc 2-1. So if he hears someone say Havoc 2-1 on the radio, he is the only person they could possibly be talking to. All right. At a fire team level, for basic fire team members, they don't have a calling station per se. Their calling station is their name. All right, but at a fire team leader level and above, we don't use names on the radio. All right, so we don't use names on squad net and shit like that. We use our calling stations. That is our name. All right, so when I'm in an operation, I never hear my name on the radio. All I hear is Havoc 7. That's it. Or simply 7, which you will find a lot of times guys just abbreviate it to the number. And that, again, is done for brevity. So this is used to let someone know who is calling them. And this goes into properly formatting a radio transmission. When we call someone on the radio, there's a phrase that I want you guys to memorize. And this is how I want you to format your radio message. That phrase is, hey you, this is me. All right, hey you, this is me. That is how you are going to format the start of every radio transmission you send to a person. Hey you, this is me. So if I were to call Sergeant Myers on the radio, I would say, Havoc 2-1, this is Havoc 7, over. And then wait. All right. So I said, hey you, this is me. Havoc 2-1, this is Havoc 7. All right. And then I said over, because I need them to respond. I'm calling him on the radio. I say over. I need him to respond. And then I wait. All right. We work on a call and response system. You do not call someone on the radio and then just immediately start sending traffic. All right. That's not how this works. They could be busy with other shit. So Havoc 2-1, this is Havoc 7, over. Wait. He'll respond with Havoc 7, this is Havoc 2-1, send traffic over, and then I will send my message. All right. Now notice, when he responds, he says back to me who I am and who he is. All right, so that I know for sure that is him talking to me. That is him responding to me. All right, is everybody tracking on that?
Yes, First Sergeant.
All right. Now, The next part that kind of feeds into that is our radio checks. Right? Our radio checks are done as part of our PCCs, our pre-combat checks. Pre-combat checks consist of radio checks, making sure you have your PPE, your personal protection equipment, which is earplugs, iPro, all that good shit, as well as assigning 2 ICs and stuff like that. We'll get into that tomorrow. But radio checks, we're going to go over today. Radio checks are one of the most vital parts, if not the most vital part, of our PCCs. Private Halverson, question.
Yes, for Sergeant. You said something about iPro. Can you actually go blind?
No.
Okay. That's all. Thank you for Sergeant.
All right. So, radio checks, probably the most important thing that we do. For the simple reason that without our radios, without proper communication, there is no way that we could do what we do on the scale that we do it. All right. To take 60 plus guys and throw them into a server without proper communication is utter fucking chaos. All right. And our goal is not chaos. So, we do radio checks every single time that we load into a server and get geared up. We do a radio check. All right. Now, the way you're going to do that radio check is each team, each squad, each platoon has their own set radio frequencies. When you get in there, you'll be told what the frequency is if you don't already know. You'll get your gear, get your radio, get it programmed just like I showed you guys how to do. You'll get it on the correct frequencies, and then you'll do your radio check. Your radio check will consist of essentially, hey you, this is me. However, for doing a radio check, you're generally not calling any specific person. So generally you'll say something along the lines of, any calling station this net, this is. All right, any calling station this net is saying anybody on this frequency is clear to respond to me. All right, so any station this net, this is, whatever the fuck your name is, radio check, frequency 123, over. All right, so again, at a fire team level, you use your name. So you say any station this net, this is, again, whatever your name is, radio check. Do not forget to say radio check. Frequency. Do not forget to say what frequency you're doing the radio check on. Frequency 123, over. All right, you have to say over because you need a response. You need them to tell you whether or not that's a good check or not. All right. Now, you do not need to say how copy at the end of your fucking radio check. All right. Radio check is asking for the strength and readability of your transmission. Saying how copy at the end is fucking redundant. You don't need to do it. You just say over. They will then respond back to you with the strength and readability of your transmission. So they will say, read you Lima Charlie, frequency 123, over, or read you loud and clear, or they'll use the numerical scale of 1/5 to 5/5. All right, 1/5 meaning broken and unreadable, 5/5 meaning loud and clear. So they'll respond back to you something along the lines of, read you Lima Charlie, frequency 123, over. All right, now they say over because they didn't start the call. You did. So they say over. You then respond back how you read them. So you'd say something along the lines of, solid copy, out. All right, you say out after your response because that is it. That is the end of the transmission. You are done talking to that person. All right, is everybody tracking on that?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Yes, for Sergeant.
All right. We're going to hope you are because you guys are about to do it for real. All right. Now, in order to speak on your radio, to transmit on your primary channel, which is channel 1, you use the caps lock key by default. Do not start hitting your fucking caps lock key now. I do not need to hear you start keying your fucking radio in my ear. In order to speak on your additional channel, by default, it is the tango key. All right. Before we get into actually using the radios, you need to understand a couple things. Firstly, both keys, doesn't really matter which one you're pressing down, which one you're talking on. When you go to transmit on your radio, When you hit the key, do not immediately start talking. All right, you need to give TFAR a moment to open up that channel so that you can start speaking on it. So for example, if you're going to be speaking on your primary net or your primary frequency, which for you guys right now is 100.1, you're going to be using your caps lock key. When you go to speak, you're going to hit your caps lock key, hold it down for a hot second, and then start speaking. Once you are done speaking, do not let go of the key immediately. There's a good chance you will cut off the end of your transmission. You have to understand that there is a slight delay in TeamSpeak. All right? So when you finish your transmission, keep the key held down for a hot second, and then let go of it, and you should be good. Now when it comes to transitioning from using caps lock to Tango for talking on your different frequencies, when you switch between the two, you have to give it a couple seconds for TFAR to disconnect from one frequency and connect to the new frequency. So if you're talking via caps lock and then you go to talk via Tango, you need to give it a few seconds before you hit Tango, otherwise it will transmit your message on the previous frequency. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. So what we're going to do now is each one of you guys is going to go through and do a proper radio check. And I know it'll be proper because I'm going to stop you if you fuck it up and make you restart it. Alright, so you're going to be using caps lock to speak on 100.1, and you're going to be doing a proper radio check just like I laid out for you guys. Private Halverson, present. Question.
Should we use your call sign or just by your name for Sergeant?
You're not going to be doing a radio check with me. You're doing a radio check on an open frequency, which means you're going to be saying any station in this net. Alright?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go right down the line of you guys. We're going to start in the front row and on the right side. So Branch, you're going to be first, and you're going to go from right to left, and then whoever's seated behind Branch is going to start off once they get done with the end there. Alright. Now, when they do their radio check, the person to your right, when they do their radio check, and they say over, you, the guy on their immediate left, is going to be the one to respond and say, read you Lima Charlie, frequency 123, over. All right? When we get to the last guy, Branch, you're going to be the one to respond to him. All right? Does everybody understand that?
Yes, for Sergeant.
All right. Branch, you're first. Go ahead and do your radio check.
Roll until you fucking die!
Reject, thank you for the follow. Branch, you have to actually speak when you open up the radio.
I am.
Didn't hear a damn thing. Alright, we're not hearing anything. Alright, stop hitting your fucking radio. Are you using push to talk on TeamSpeak?
Yes.
What is your push to talk key?
It's a extra button on the keyboard.
Alright, so it's not caps lock.
No, for Sergeant.
Alright, so that shouldn't be an issue then. Do you have the in-game VoIP turned on? That's the in-game voice service.
No, for Sergeant.
Well, in that case, that is very fucking odd. Go ahead and try and use Tango to transmit. Just hit Tango and start talking. I don't care if you say I've got a lovely bunch of fucking coconuts. Just say something on Tango.
I'm not getting any kind of...
Alright. Your radio controls are fucked somehow. Alright, we'll come back to it. Go into... Hit escape, go to configure, controls, and then down at the bottom you should see configure add-ons. You're going to click that. Once you're in configure add-ons, you should see a drop-down box at the top. You're going to go to TFAR. Alright, make sure your short range transmit is set to a proper key, and make sure your short range alternate is set to a proper key, and we'll rotate back to you.
Staff Sergeant, none of these have assigned keys.
Last time I checked, I haven't been a staff sergeant in over a year.
Excuse me. First Sergeant, none of these have assigned keys. I have all empties for every single one of them.
Alright, they're going to assign them to keys. We'll come back around to you. Private Ryder, you're next. Do your radio check.
Any calling station on frequency 100.1. This is Private Ryan requesting a radio check. Over.
Region Lima Charlie, frequency 100.1. Over.
Solid copy on frequency 100.1. Out.
Alright, that wasn't horrible. Little long-winded on the first part. Alright. Remember, any station this net, radio check, frequency 123, over. Alright, that short, that quick. Alright. Whoever's next down there, go ahead and do your radio check.
Any calling station this net. This is Lynch, radio check, frequency 100.1. Over.
Loud and clear on frequency 100.1. Over.
Solid copy. Out.
Alright, not bad. Next.
Any stations this net. Private Halverson requesting a radio check on frequency 100.1. Over.
Region 5x5, frequency 100.1. Over.
Finish the transmission.
What would I respond with?
Solid copy out.
Solid copy. Out.
There you go. Alright, back row.
Any station, this net, radio check, frequency 100.1. Over.
Region 5x5 on 100.1. Over.
Roger, out.
Any station this net. This is Private Rennie. Radio check, frequency 100.1. Over.
Alright, Branch, you get your hotkeys set up?
Any station, this net, this is Private Branch, radio check, 100.1.
Alright, stand by, stand by. Rainey just did his radio check. Did you hear him?
Solid copy.
Alright. Respond to him on the radio that you read him, Lima Charlie, whatever. Go ahead and do that now.
What was his sign out for Sergeant?
Alright. We'll go ahead and start it from the top. Alright, Rainey, I want you to redo your radio check. Branch, you're going to respond to him with the solid cop, or with the Lima Charlie frequency 100.1 over. Alright, Rainey, go ahead and do it again.
Yes, for Sergeant.
Any station this net. This is Private Rennie. Radio check 100.1. Over.
Lima Charlie, solid copy, 100.1. Over.
Solid copy. Light.
Alright, it wasn't bad, but Branch, you don't need to say Lima Charlie and solid copy. They pretty much mean the same thing. Alright, you only need one of the two. Now go ahead and do your radio check, and Ryder will respond to you.
Any station, this net, this is Private Branch, radio check, 100.1. Over.
Bridge Lima Charlie on 100.1. Over.
Solid copy. Out.
There you go. Now you guys all know how to do a proper radio check. Alright. This is something we will not let you slack on at any point in time, ever. I don't give a shit if you're the FNG or you're a fucking E6. At no point in time do we let you slide on that format of doing a radio check properly. Alright, does everybody understand this?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. And again, this is something that we do every single time that we gear up. Alright, so it is something that you will have a lot of practice at. Now, does anybody have any questions on any of the radio stuff that we have gone over?
No, for Sergeant.
No, for Sergeant.
Outstanding. So what we're going to do next is go over some weapons familiarization. Alright, firstly, we're going to be going over the lecture portion of it to give you guys a rundown on some of the weapon systems we use. Once we get done here, we'll head out to the range and actually give you guys some hands-on. Alright, so first weapon we're going to be covering is the M4 carbine. Alright, this is standard issue for the United States Army. It is what all of us carry, with exception to pilots, machine gunners, and automatic riflemen. Now, the M4 is a lightweight gas-operated air-cooled magazine-fed shoulder-fire weapon that can be fired in either semi-automatic or fully automatic mode, with a point target range of 500 meters and an area target range of 600 meters. Does anybody have a guess as to the difference between a point target and an area target?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Who is yes?
Private Halverson.
Send it.
I believe that point fire is pinpoint accuracy, where area fire is more of like suppression.
Pretty much exactly. Alright, point target, you're accurately engaging a single target. Area, you're suppressing the area of that target. Alright, pretty simple. Any questions on the M4? Oh, fucking standing. The next weapon system we're going to be covering is the M320. The M320 is a lightweight 40mm breech-loading grenade launcher. Underslung grenade launcher, to be specific. It can be used in the underslung variant or in a standalone variant. However, we only use the underslung variant. That being said, we also use the 203, which is kind of the older brother to the 320. For your guys' training throughout OSUT, you will only be using the 320. Now, the 320 can accurately engage targets at a range of 350 meters, but that is only partially true. The 320 only ranges to 350 meters. You can accurately engage targets beyond 350 meters, but you have to use something we call Kentucky windage. Alright, very simply, it means you aim high. Alright, now the 320 and the 203 are capable of firing a couple of different types of munitions. Firstly, there is HE, or high explosive. That is one that we use the most and is used against infantry. Next, there is HEDP, high explosive dual purpose. HEDP is used against entrenched enemies, buildings, as well as some light armored vehicles. Then we have smoke. The downside of smoke, at least for us in Arma, is that you can fire a 40mm smoke out there 200-300 meters, and there's a chance it could bounce another 200 to 300 meters beyond where you fire it. All right, it takes a lot of practice to be good with 40 mics when it comes to smoke. Our JTACs are very good with them. They're able to put red smoke on top of enemies very fucking well. Now, the 320 is used by grenadiers as well as some squad leaders and platoon HQ. The additional rounds that can be used for it would include illumination rounds. Illumination rounds are not used very often. You may think it's kind of silly that we use illumination rounds considering we all have night vision, but I can tell you from experience, when the fog is super thick, night vision doesn't do dick. Illumination is your best friend. Lastly, there is Hunt IR rounds. Hunt IR rounds are only used by platoon HQ and above. Hunt IR rounds are essentially a camera mounted on the front of a 40mm grenade. When it's launched and it reaches the height, a parachute will deploy from the back of it, and it will slowly fall towards the ground. And using one of our devices, we are able to look through that camera. Alright, and again, that's only used by platoon HQ and above, so you guys don't really need to worry about it, with the exception that if you're sitting there covering a sector and you see a little white parachute coming down from the sky, do not freak out. Alright, it's not the fucking aliens invading. It is not enemy fucking airborne troops. It's a goddamn camera. Don't shoot at it. Alright, does anybody have any questions on the 320? Alright. Next, we're going to cover the M249 squad automatic weapon, or simply the SAW. SAW is carried by all automatic riflemen within the unit. The M249 is a gas-operated, air-cooled, belt or magazine-fed automatic weapon that fires from the open bolt position with a maximum rate of fire of 850 rounds per minute. Yes, I did say magazine or belt-fed. You can feed an M4 magazine into the SAW. However, the M4 magazine is only 30 rounds, so you're going to rip through that pretty goddamn quickly because the SAW does not have select fire capability, meaning you can only fire it in fully automatic. So 30 rounds doesn't last very long. Most guys use a 200 or a 100 round box and or belt, or pouch I should say. Now the 249 has an effective area target range of 1200 meters. Notice I only said area target range. I did not say point target range. Reason being, the SAW is a suppression weapon. Now that does not mean that you can't engage a singular target. What it means is you engage the entire area of that target. Now we do this by firing in bursts. Right? So you fire the SAW generally in a burst of 3 to 5 rounds. Alright? And that will change depending upon the range of the target, but generally it's a 3 to 5 round burst. So I don't give a shit what you learned in fucking CSGO or whatever other shit you have played. You do not tap fire, you do not single fire a fucking light machine gun. Alright, you fire it in burst. So when you engage a target, say you're engaging a MAM is a military age male, anybody from 15 to 50. When you engage a MAM, you fire in a 3 to 5 round burst. You start it as kneecaps and let the weapon run itself right up his body. Alright, because when you think about it, weapon system is automatically going to rise on its own, especially an automatic weapon. Alright, so by the time you fire that 3 to 5 round burst, you should work from his kneecaps up to the center of his chest. Alright, is everybody tracking on that?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Yes, for Sergeant.
Outstanding. Alright, next we'll move on to the M240 Bravo medium machine gun. The 240 is a belt-fed, air-cooled, gas-operated, fully automatic machine gun that fires from the open bolt position. It is generally loaded with a 100-round bandolier. It has a maximum area target range of 1,800 meters. Unlike the SAW, which is chambered in the NATO 5.56 round, the 240 is chambered in the NATO 7.62 round. So it is the bigger, badder, meaner brother to the SAW. Now notice I said that the 240 has an area effective range of 1,800 meters. Right? You can reach the fuck out there and touch somebody. Hence why I affectionately refer to it as the big black dick of freedom. The 240 is carried by all 11 Bravo machine gunners. Well, I shouldn't say all. It is a crew-served weapon, meaning you have a gunner and you have an assistant gunner, or an A gunner. Alright? Gunner carries the weapons, pulls the trigger. A gunner spots targets, ranges targets, controls rate of fire, so on and so forth. Alright? Any questions on the 240?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Pretty sure it sounded like you just called me a sir, and I sure as fuck am not a sir.
First Sergeant.
Alright, next weapon system we're going to be covering is the M136 AT4. The M136 is a lightweight, self-contained SLM designed for use against improved armor and light armored vehicles. Alright, this is a single-use weapon system. Alright, it is an anti-tank rocket, meaning it is unguided. Alright, this has no laser system or anything like that. comes preloaded in a fiberglass wrap tube, meaning once you fire this thing, you chuck it on the ground. You cannot reload it. Now the AT-4 is carried by all riflemen within the unit. We as well, half the riflemen, we as well use the M72 Law. The M72 Law is basically the little brother to the AT-4. Where the AT-4 is used for light armor, the Law is generally used for what we consider soft targets. Gun trucks, troop transports, stuff like that. Laws can be used against some light armor. We'll go over more of that on day 3. Alright, any questions on the AT-4?
No, for certain. Negative for certain.
Excellent. Now the next one we're going to briefly go over is the M3 Maus, or the Carl Gustav. The Maus is carried by 11 Bravo anti-armor gunners. Those are guys in weapon squads. Right, the Maus is an 84mm recoilless rifle. Right, it is essentially the bigger brother to the AT-4. Alright, and it can be reloaded. And it can fire a couple of different types of rounds. The only rounds we use are the HEAT, high explosive anti-tank, and is capable of engaging targets beyond 1,000 meters. Now, the next weapon system is the FGM-148 Javelin. The FGM-148 Javelin missile system fires a laser-guided missile via the clue. The clue is the targeting system that you see on the side of a Javelin, which actually in real world comes off of the actual tube itself. They're not transported together. You have to put the clue on the tube before you fire it. For us, it just magically fucking appears when you pull it off your shoulder, which is kind of annoying because the clue can actually be used for target acquisition pretty well on its own. But that being said, the Javelin is the most powerful anti-armor weapon system that we have as infantry. Once the weapon system is able to lock onto a target, a small engine will carry the missile out of the tube. Once it gets 2 meters or so outside of the tube, the actual propellant will ignite in the missile itself, and it will shoot damn near straight up into the air. It does this so that it can hit a target from the top. The reason it does that is because armor is almost always inherently weakest in the top plate. So the Javelin missile comes straight down on top of it, and for us, will destroy any piece of armor that we go up against with a single hit. All right, and that again is carried by 11 Bravo anti-armor gunners. Next, we're going to get into our thrown munitions. All right, first we're going to be covering is the M67 fragmentation grenade. The M67 consists of a pre-fragmented steel body filled with 6.5 ounces of explosives on a 3.2 to 4.2 second fuse. Alright, so when you pull the pin and release the spoon is that handle looking thing that comes off the top of it, you've got 3 to 4 seconds before that thing detonates. Now, it has a kill radius of 15 meters and a fragmentation dispersal radius of 230 meters. So make goddamn sure when you throw one of those, you are behind solid cover. Alright, now we are able to somewhat simulate the proper use of a grenade as far as being able to cook a grenade with the ACE Advanced Throw System. We are able to cook a grenade. If you don't know what it means to cook a grenade, basically means you pull the pin, you're holding the spoon. The fuse on a grenade doesn't start burning until you let go of that spoon, that handle looking thing. So when you let go of that spoon and you continue holding a grenade, that's what they call cooking a grenade. Basically letting the fuse burn out so the enemy has less time to react to it. So if you cook a grenade for 1 or 2 seconds and then throw it, the enemy has less time to get away from it. However, be very careful cooking a fucking grenade, because there is a chance that you could be off on your count and the thing goes off in your fucking hand, which would turn out very bad for you and everyone around you. Now, if for some reason you throw a frag and it does not go where you want it to go, or somehow it hits something right in front of you and drops at your feet, there are 2 things you're going to do. Firstly, you're going to turn around and do your best fucking Steven Seagal impression and run like a motherfucker. Next, whilst you are running, you are going to start screaming, "Bad frag." That lets everyone around you know that you just threw a frag somewhere it's not supposed to be. They need to get cover. After about 2 seconds of running, you're going to hit the deck. Alright, you're going to hit Zulu and go prone. Reason being, grenades explode up and outwards. That's how they throw their shrapnel, is up and out. Alright, so if you hit the deck, that's your best chance of surviving. Granted, you may still catch some shrapnel in the ass, but it's better than catching it in the chest. Alright, any questions on the M67?
Go for Sergeant.
Alright. So next, we're going to go into our M84 flashbang, or the stun grenade as it's listed in your loadout. The M84, very simply, is a non-lethal grenade that upon detonation will emit a very loud bang and a blinding flash, hence flashbang. Now the flashbang has a 1 to 2 second fuse. Alright, so it is much shorter than a frag grenade, and that is on purpose. Again, it gives the enemy less time to react. Alright, so if you throw a flash into a room, it's only going to be 1 to 2 seconds before that thing goes off. Now, the downside to the flashbang, in Arma at least, is it does not always have the desired effect. Reason being, if the enemy is not facing the flashbang, if it is not in their cone of vision, it will not have any effect on them, which is a pain in the dick. Because if the enemy just decides to turn away, even though the flashbang is in the room with them, it does nothing to them. Which is something that unfortunately a lot of games do, and it's incredibly unfucking realistic. I don't care if it flashes you or not. The concussion of the bang going off itself disorients the fuck out of you. So, if you throw a flashbang into a room, just keep in mind, if there is an enemy in there, there is a possibility that he will not be affected by it. Alright, so you need to be ready for that possibility. Next, we're going to go on to our smoke grenades. Our M18s are a canister type grenade, which after you release the spoon will start emitting a large plume of smoke. Now, smoke for us has a couple different uses. There is concealment as well as signaling. So concealment, we use white and yellow smoke for concealment. Generally we use yellow, but some guys do use white. So anytime you see white or yellow smoke, that is being used for concealment. And if you need to conceal your movement, use white or yellow smoke. Now when it comes to signaling, each smoke color has its own meaning. Alright, so green smoke is used to signal friendly positions. Red smoke is used to show enemy positions. So if at any point in time you see red smoke on a friendly position, make damn sure that you radio that information up immediately. And if you accidentally throw a red smoke on your own position or other friendly's position, again, make sure you radio it up immediately. Not so much for us on the ground, as it's pretty easy for us to look and see, okay, yeah, those are friendly troops on that red smoke. It's more so for air assets. Air assets, the A-10 especially has amazing eyes with the TGP, the camera that's on their plane. However, it's not always easy to PID their targets. It's properly identified. So they rely on us to identify targets. When they see red smoke, that's being identified as enemy. And when air assets see red smoke, they go into fucking overdrive. Because for us to put red smoke on an enemy, it generally means we have to be close enough to throw a grenade to them, which is pretty goddamn close. So again, anytime you see red smoke on a friendly position, make sure you radio it up immediately. Next, we have blue smoke. Blue smoke is used to mark a broken chain of command. It's not a real concern for you guys. However, just keep in mind, if you see blue smoke, stay the fuck away from it. Just stay out of the area. If someone tells you to set up security there, then go ahead and do so, but otherwise just stay out of the way. And the same goes for the next one, which is purple smoke. Purple smoke is only carried by our combat medics, and it is used to mark an MCI, mass casualty incident, or simply a mass cast. When they get to an MCI, They will deploy purple smoke. That signals to all other medics in the area, I have an MCI, I need help. And all the other medics that are available will move to that location and begin helping them. If you see purple smoke, stay away from it. Alright, again, if you're told to set up security, then go ahead and do so, but try to stay out of the medic's way as much as you possibly can. Let them do their work. Lastly, we have orange smoke. Orange smoke has two different meanings for us. For us as basic infantry, we use orange smoke, I should say team leaders use orange smoke to mark the position of demolitions. Alright, every team leader carries an M112 demolition block. When they place that demo block and put the trigger on it, they will then deploy orange smoke on that position and get the fuck out of there. So if you see orange smoke, stay the hell away from it. It's a good chance that entire area is about to explode. Alternatively, our TAC-P, our Tactical Air Control Party, will use orange smoke sometimes to mark a landing zone. Alright, so if you see orange smoke out in the middle of an open field somewhere, still stay away from it, because there's about to be a helicopter landing on there. So stay the fuck out of the way of the orange smoke. Alright, anybody have any questions on the smoke color designation? Alright. So, that all being done, I know that was a lot of fucking talking, a lot of lecturing. What we're going to do now is head out to the range and give you guys some actual hands-on with the different weapon systems we use. First thing we're going to be doing is going to the grenade range. Each one of you guys are going to be throwing a frag grenade just to get an idea of how it works and so on. But before we do that, you guys are going to go see the supply sergeant, get geared up, and then we will head out there. So, Sergeant Myers, go ahead and lead these guys into the gear room and get them geared up. Just give them all rifleman loadouts.
Hold your first, Sergeant. On your feet.
Alright, guys. Very sorry I wasn't able to kind of interact with you guys. Had a lot of talking to do there. Hopefully you guys are all doing well.
Alright.
Yes, I did reach the anniversary goal today. Cope put me right over the top there. Again, thank you, brother. I still haven't told Sid yet what we're doing or where we're going or anything. It'll be a nice surprise for her, but yeah. Thank you very, very much for that. Been entertaining yourselves? Oh god, that's fucking terrifying. Right on, pool guy. Yeah, we do our best. Yeah, exactly, Cope. She has no idea right now.
Get back out there and line up.
Vertigo has a lovely pair of coconuts. Nice. Yeah, pool. We if you type !506 in chat, it'll give you a link to the website.
Want everyone's rifles to be condition full, that means I want your magazines out with your rifles.
Killer, if you... I don't have the links set up for the YouTube command, unfortunately, but Killer, if you just Google 506 IR Realism Unit, it'll pop up first thing. We're super, super easy to find. Alright, gentlemen, follow me. Alright, you're gonna walk up to this flagpole that's got the red flag on top of it. You're gonna use your scroll wheel and teleport out to the range complex. Do that by using your scroll wheel and hitting space when you see the range pop up.
Alright, help some way up. Okay, firm, you've got. Follow me. Go into the arsenal.
Yep.
With your helmet.
Oh, shit. This old man's tired.
You'll see on the right hand side some won't have little badges. You want to grab an OCH, OEF, CP, 506 variant, maybe ESS. Do not take the headset variant.
Okay.
You then need to go to your launcher section and you need to grab an AT4.
Alright.
That is the M136 Heat.
Yeah, I think
And
I
you
had the other one.
Take that rhino mount off your helmet. I've not a fucking clue where you got it from.
Okay.
Alright. Firstly, Halverson, come out of this room.
Alright.
You're gonna come over to this computer on the right.
Mhm.
Use your scroll wheel, that's the arsenal you're gonna use.
Okay.
Sergeant is correct, you do take that fucking rhino mount off. You do not use those. You're also gonna change out that helmet to the non-506 variant. That 506 variant has a spade on it. You haven't earned that spade yet. Once you have the correct helmet, get your ass outside.
Apologies for that, Sergeant.
Alright, go ahead and get yourself out to the range.
Yes.
Sergeant Myers, stand by for a hot second. Take these guys through how to use a grenade. First and foremost, make sure they understand to switch to fucking non-lethal when they first start an operation so they're not accidentally throwing a frag. And instead of them throwing regular, have them do the shift G for the advanced throw and teach them how to do it that way instead of the regular fucking throw. And then advise them to change their fucking hotkey from G being the throw to
Top G or something.
yeah, double tap G or set G to their advanced throw and delete their normal hotkey. But take them through how to throw a frag and then explain to them how to do the shift K to get the windage up and then show them what a smoke grenade looks like. Don't have all of them throw a smoke grenade. But take them through that and have each guy down the line throw a frag. Make sure they fucking do it properly and call frag out and then get cover.
Alright, Roger.
Oh, right on, pool guy. Glad you enjoy it, man. Hopefully, we will see you in the future. Textures didn't load, that was scary.
Hang on a hot second.
Right there.
Alright, yep. Don't follow me, Grenade Ridge.
It's right over here.
And Vondi, thank you for the follow. And sorry all of you guys that followed while I was in the middle of my fucking spiel there. Wasn't able to thank you guys.
Alright, we'll just hang around here. Everyone hear me alright?
Yes, sir.
Alright. When you load in for an operation, the first thing you want to do is you want to hit the 7 on your top row of numbers. What that does is that selects a non-lethal grenade, such as a smoke grenade. That means if you do accidentally throw something, that you're only going to throw a smoke. Instead of a HE.
Pool guy, that it's really not necessarily to have like experience in the game. Like this is actually the second phase of training. The first phase of training that guys go through, you know, we make sure that all their mods are squared away, and then you know teach them the basic controls and all of that shit. You know, and then they come here and learn how to actually do shit. So you don't have to have any experience whatsoever in the game before you join the unit.
Hitting number 8.
Lone Wolf, thank you for the follow.
Change the way of throwing it, so you go through normal to high throw to a precise throw to a drop grenade. Just for now, just set it back to normal. Okay. We're not going to be using the normal way of throwing it today. What I'm going to be showing you is how to use the ace way of throwing it, which is pressing shift and golf. Okay. Make sure everyone has a non-lethal grenade selected for this. So, hit number 7 on your keypad, grab a smoke for now. Don't want anyone fucking holding frags. now press Shift and Golf, you'll get kind of a little guide there for your grenades. You'll have some options. So left click will throw, scroll will change the way you throw
The
the
recruit
grenade.
instructors are asshats.
So click, which will cook the grenade. No one fucking throw them right now.
I know because I had to pick all of them. Jobless Alien, thank you for the follow.
Alright. We'll run over frags first. When you throw a frag grenade, you fucking shout frag out. Pretty simple. If you're throwing a smoke grenade, you shout smoke out. You hit control and kilo, shift and kilo on your keyboards. In the top left hand corner, you'll see a arrow pointing around. This is mostly important for throwing smoke grenades. Dot on the arrow represents the wind's power, and the arrow obviously represents the direction. So facing this way, you'll see that you've got a wind that is going southwest with a slight breeze, I'd say. That means that if you do throw a smoke grenade, you want to account for that. So it means if you want to cover immediately in front of you, in this area, you're going to want to throw your grenade slightly to the north, to the northeast, because the wind is going to blow that smoke back down towards you. If there's a heavy wind, behind you, then you can pretty much drop the grenade right in front of you, and it's going to push the smoke further out to the northwest. Does everyone understand that?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant.
Right, hit shift kilo, that'll go away. It's always useful before you throw a smoke grenade to have that up just to know which way the wind's going to maximize the effectiveness of the smoke grenades.
Alright, stand by, Sergeant Myers. Alright, to expound on what Sergeant Myers told you at the start there, when you throw a frag grenade, you yell frag out. You yell that before you throw the fucking grenade. Alright? That is you letting everyone know that you are throwing an outbound frag they need to get cover. Do not be that jackass that throws a frag and while it's in hang time you yell frag out. It defeats the fucking purpose. Secondly, when you are throwing a grenade, as Sergeant Myers said, you say whatever type of grenade it is and out. There's a very specific reason for that. If you simply yell frag, that is telling us it's an incoming enemy frag. Right? It is not outbound. Right? So if you just say frag, everybody's gonna fucking dive for cover and get the hell away from you. As where if you say frag out, everybody's going to stay behind whatever cover they're at because they know it's an outbound grenade. Does everybody understand this?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, Sergeant Myers, carry on.
Okay. What we're going to go over now is actually throwing a grenade. I'm going to go down in a line and let you each do it individually. So,
Yeah, I love the pointing system. It works so goddamn well. I'm gonna run over here and load the armor course real quick.
Use your shift golf. And I want you to throw a frag grenade as far as you fucking can away from us. So get it to arc over, maybe get it behind the walls towards those targets, but whatever you do not make it bounce off that front wall.
Yeah, Jacob, luckily that doesn't happen. And if some jackass were to do that, they would not have a good fucking day. Because for a 12-year-old, yes, that's funny. For people that are actually taking this seriously, it is not. So, if said fucking 12-year-old mentality happy fucking half-tard does throw a grenade in the middle of training and yell spacing, they're immediately going to be sitting down in a fucking room with me. And they're not going to have a good time. I should probably grab an AT4 real quick. No, it's always that same size. I mean, granted, we could probably, Soto or somebody could probably fucking change it up. But that would require doing some scripting work. Yeah, it would be nice to have it a little bit more precise. I mean, majority of the time though, like it's close enough to the area because you're generally pointing out, something that's moving a lot of the time. And once you look in that area, your eyes are going to spot that movement pretty easily.
Right, rider.
Frag out.
Private Lynch.
Basically, pool guy, you gain rank the same exact way you do in the actual military, with time and grade and promotion points. The only difference is we don't have promotion boards or anything like that.
So using
And obviously, the time and grade and stuff like that is, lowered compared to what it is in real life. But yeah, you just earn time and grade and promotion points. Each rank has its own set TIG and points you have to have. And then, we have our typical rank caps and shit like that, so you're not seeing some asshat that's like a lieutenant as a rifleman or some shit like that.
Right. Right, yeah, go to controls and go to weapons and scroll down halfway and you'll see throw. What I want you guys to do is delete the throw hotkey and rebind it to double tap G. So you want to highlight it, hit delete, click in the box, tap G twice, okay, and hit OK. That means is if you do, for whatever reason, accidentally hit the golf key, you're not going to throw a potentially damaging grenade to anyone. That means that if you do want to throw a grenade, you really fucking mean it because you've hit G twice. Has everyone done that?
Yes, Sergeant. Yes, Sergeant.
Also, feel free to bind that to Shift G, which means that pressing Shift and G will just open up that GUI that you saw. You can bind it to wherever the fuck you like, as long as it's not just hit G. I mean, if you feel confident that you're not going to throw a bad frag, then you're more than welcome to keep it on the default, but I would highly recommend rebinding it to something that you're not going to accidentally hit. Is everyone good with that? Anyone got any questions about grenades?
No, Sergeant.
No, we do not have PT.
Stand by.
We don't even have PT belts, unfortunately.
Alright, anything else you want to do?
Yeah, take them over to the fucking AT range directly across there, run over how to fire an AT4, proper steps to go through, and so on.
Roger.
Hey, we'll see you later, pool guy. Have a good one, bud.
Go to the AT4 range.
Did you remind them when they geared up to grab a set of vectors?
No, I did not.
Damn it. Alright, hang on.
Yeah, everyone here have vectors?
I got a pair, Sergeant.
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright.
I don't think they have any at all.
Stand by, I'll drop a box for you. For this, I'm going to split you into teams of 2. So I'll do Harrison, Lynch, Rainey and Branch, Ryder, and Halverson. The reason I'm splitting you into 2 is because when you fire an 84, you always want someone with you to check your back blast, and we'll go over that once you have vectors. Alright, if you check this box. Yep, should be vectors in there.
Killer, no one technically owns the unit. There's a single person in command, but nobody that owns it.
You got a pair of vectors, make your way over to these sandbags, split into the teams of assigns.
No, Jacob, I haven't done anything with the new shit yet. There's nothing there that we're gonna be using. Not that I've seen, anyways.
Spread out a little bit, you can move down there. Alright. As you guys have heard from First Sergeant, the AT-4 is unguided, which means that you are going to have to range your target. You're then going to want to range your AT-4 before you shoot.
Alright guys, I will be right back. I'm gonna take a quick piss.
Is because normally when you shoot an AT-4, you always want a buddy with you to let you know if your backblast is clear. What do I mean by that? What that means is, before you take the shot, all your concentration is going to be on the target, so it's someone else taking a little bit of, basically a little bit, they're doing the thinking for you. So if you are going to take a shot with an AT-4, before you take that shot, what you should be yelling is clear backblast. You want to say it loudly and clearly. Normally you want to set yourself to yelling before you do it. What that means is that the buddy with you is going to check behind you and make sure that no one's standing behind you, there's not, a tree or a wall. What that means is, by the AT-4 and someone's behind you, that backblast can fucking knock them out. Do a lot of damage to a person, so yelling clear backblast, and then your buddy will look behind you and say, backblast clear. That means that your backblast is clear and you're free to shoot. If he yells backblast not clear, that means that, someone's standing behind you, there may be a wall, a tree, a vehicle, whatever the fuck it is, it means it's not safe to fire the AT-4. Alright. Private Halverson, I want you to face downrange and pull your AT-4 and put it on your shoulder.
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. I'll give you an example of what is not a clear backblast. Sergeant Loster, do you want it? There you go. That is not a clear backblast. That's going to kill him. That is still not a clear backblast. Anything from pretty much where I am, all the way fucking round to here is not clear. You want to be at least in line. You don't want to be in front, don't want to be behind, you want to be in line. The backblast of this thing can go at least 20 meters. If not further, and it's in an arc. So, I don't need to fire it yet, buddy. Put your AT-4 away. Well, next we'll go over the vectors. So if everyone hits Bravo, you'll pull out your vector 21s. Alright. Guys, go ahead and you'll hit right click, you'll be able to look down your vectors. I believe the default key is tab. Is it not, or is it? Well, Sergeant Loster will know. What is the default key?
It's Romeo.
It's Romeo. There you go. So if you press and hold Romeo and you look at that vehicle directly in front of us to our southeast.
Alright, we are back.
Circle, you'll release Romeo.
Let's start an MLRS battery. Oh, Jesus.
96 meters. Does everyone see that?
MLRS. Their call sign is Steel Rain. Fucking aluminum drizzle. We used to mess with our buddy about that. He was fucking MLRS in Gulf War. He always bragged that his call sign was Steel Rain, so we always called him Aluminum Drizzle.
350 meters. So, everyone wants to pull out the AT-4s. And if you singular right click, you'll see that the sight on it is a piece of shit. If you control right click, I believe you do get a slightly better view. Everyone see that? Yeah, you may have to ready them. No one fucking fire yet. Everyone see that? So right clicking will get you a small reticle, and shift right clicking will give you something a little bit bigger. Or control right clicking. Does everyone see that?
Rain Rocket's done, yeah. I myself prefer the Paladins. You can put fucking 5 artillery rounds on the same target at the exact same time. Pretty fucking rowdy.
Right. While I grab one just to make sure that I'm actually giving you guys the right keys. Hitting page up and page down, you'll notice in your top right hand corner that'll be able to range the AT-4. So page up will be ranging up, paging down will be ranging down, obviously. That is why you have an assistant with you, so your assistant would have the rangefinders out, they would range the target by using the Romeo key. You know, Vic in front is 297 meters, you're pretty safe to round that up to 300, you would range
I
the
will
84
PT you
300
all until you
meters,
fucking
and
die!
then on target. Alright, out of the groups, I want one of you guys to pull out the vectors, one to pull out the AT4.
Blue Warrior, thank you for the follow. Yeah, the Paladins are fucking insane, and now there's that new one, I forget the fucking name of it, but the gun is basically on the back of a truck, and it's like enclosed. They can pull up, open the top of it, kind of like a fucking ICBM launcher, and the turret comes up out of it, and they can send out 5, they can stop, set up the gun, send out like 5 rounds, and be gone in like 2 minutes. It's fucking insane.
Remember your fucking protocols.
Yeah, I mean, we've done some unsung and Ironfront stuff as like fun ops. We don't use it for the actual unit. You guys use them here and there for fun ops.
There you go, and you need to, before you shoot, it is whoever has the AT4 out, it is your job to fucking shout clear back blast.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of that that new artillery is. I mean, it's not really that new. It's been in development for over a fucking decade now, but the thing is badass, man.
Okay, before you fire, there's one more thing I've got to tell you. Before you fire an 84, you want to yell, rocket, rocket, or rocket, rocket, rocket. What that means is you are immediately about to fire something like an 84 or a Mars or a Javelin. Before you fire anything, you want to yell, rocket, rocket. Proceed.
Do you want me to start over from the beginning?
Yeah, if I'm just start over from the beginning.
Roger that, sir. Clear back blast.
Back blast clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
You're a little off there.
Yeah, it's a 105 howitzer that's in the back of the truck.
What you probably didn't do there was range your AT4 with the page up, page down keys. I will show you the correct way of doing it one more time.
Jesus Christ, these fucking asshats, and they're adding everything to Zeus.
Got eyes on?
Yes, Sergeant.
Bearing 133, distance 295, 300.
What's that, the BTR, is that what that is?
Negative, technical.
Got it. What was that range again?
300.
300 A-firm. Oh, this fucking thing sucks.
Yep.
Alright, clear my back blast.
Back blast is clear.
Rocket.
The fuck were you shooting at?
Was that short?
Fucking off target.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Aim for the technical.
Can't leave these fucking asshats to do anything.
I pulled my sight up and I moved slightly to the left.
Yep. You guys can tell the AT4 is pretty fucking not an easy, not too easy to use first time rounds. Alright, next group. Halverson and Riley, let's see if you can hit that technical. Not a technical, it's a gun truck, I guess.
Is that a gas?
What's the range on
Yeah,
it?
let's see gas.
Rider.
Range is 295. Bearing 1132.
Right. Clear back blast.
Back blast is clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket. Oh. Rocket, rocket, rocket.
There we go. First hit.
Outstanding.
I got some practice.
Right.
You feel me proud, Halverson.
Move down the line. Rainy and Branch. Go ahead and what else we got down here? There's another vehicle similar to the one you hit last. 124. Everyone, you got eyes on it?
Affirmative, Sergeant.
Alright, go ahead.
Oh, that's because the RPG is dog shit.
Target vehicle. Bearing 1-2. Range 532.
DT4 only range for 350.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you can nail it. You can nail something at 500 meters, but
Yeah.
you really gotta.
Now.
There's a gas right to your left, Sergeant Myers.
Yeah.
Right
Go
there.
ahead and switch targets over to that gas. I don't want you guys to start winding stuff when you first try learning the weapon system. So switch over to the gas.
Roger, Sergeant.
Best unguided launcher, hands down the AT4.
Target light vehicle 134, bearing 093.
Copy. Clear black blast.
Black blast clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Hit.
Good effect on target.
You hit it on the side, you did as opposed to when you hit the other one on the front, it had to cook off.
Right. You guys swap over, so whoever was firing last time is now going to be on the vectors, and whoever didn't fire is going to be firing.
I want another chance.
Guess we got no Vix down, we'll just start using the bunkers. Yep. Bunker right over there, if you see me pointing. There's your target.
Lynch.
Roger, that distance to target is 260 meters, 260.
Eyes on 260, bearing. Give me a bearing, Lynch.
You have eyes on, you don't need a bearing. You just said you have eyes on. That means you already see the fucking thing. Why do you need a bearing?
I got eyes on a few bunkers, that's why, Sergeant. Clear to fire. Clear back blast.
Back blast is clear.
Rocket, rocket.
A little high.
A little bit high. Want to make sure when you get your range one, use page up and page down keys.
Confirm.
Alright, next group.
What is our target, Sergeant?
You go ahead and pick out your own target. It can either be the infantry, you can try and hit a bunker.
I'm gonna go for the same bunkers last time over there. Bunker bearing 120, range
Sergeant, this is not your time to fucking play on my range.
261 meters.
Oh yeah, the fucking Carl G has been using. They've been using smart munitions forever. You know, fucking airburst and shit like that.
I'm unsure whether that round
Went right through the fucking opening of it.
bunker. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and say that you were arranged correctly. Alright, last group. Feel like you can reach and touch that bunker out to the southeast there. A little bit further than the ET4 range, but if you think that you can hit it.
Target bunker at 140. Range is 386.
Roger that bunker at 36.
It actually ranges for 400, Sergeant Myers. So you can just range it for 4 and then aim a little lower.
Yep.
Clear black blast.
Back blast clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
There you go.
Good hit.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
What am I doing? Has anyone not fired the AT4 yet? Alright. anyone got any questions or comments on the AT4 system?
No, Sergeant.
No, Sergeant.
Alright. Want you guys to look around at each other. Tell me what's out of place.
AT4 is on the floor, Sergeant.
What's out of place about the AT4s being on the ground?
I still have mine on my back, Sergeant.
There you go. They're supposed to be on the ground. You fired them. You can't reload them. No use in carrying it around.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
Now, this is done for a specific reason. Right? One, it's added weight you don't need to be carrying around. Two, if we have armor that we need to engage, and we need somebody that has an AT4, and you're running around with an empty stick on your back, and we come running up to you and say, hey, shoot this, and you go, oh, my AT4 is empty. You're a dumbass. Now we have to go find someone else with an AT4, and you just wasted our time. All right, so make sure, as soon as you fire that thing, you toss it on the ground. Everybody understand?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, so what we're going to do now is head over to the rifle range and run you guys through some different engagement techniques, rates of fire, and so on. So follow me.
Sergeant Myers.
Yep.
I'm having some sound issues. I can't hear anything.
It's a known in-game bug.
Probably can't hear anything because you didn't put earplugs in before you fired the AT4.
I have earplugs in for Sergeant. Can't hear literally anything.
Oh, all of your in-game sound is gone? Yeah, that's a bug. Alright, let's get yourselves kind of school circled up right there. Alright, first weapon system we're going to be going over is the M4, which is what most of us use. When it comes to rates of fire for the different weapon systems we use, there are 3 different rates of fire. There is the sustained, there's rapid, and there's cyclic. Alright, now a sustained rate of fire for the M4 consists of a single round every 2 to 3 seconds. This is generally used on targets that are beyond 250 meters. Alright, so we will use this to engage guys 300-400 meters out there. We also use it to suppress. Alright, now a single round every 2 to 3 seconds doesn't sound like much. However, when you take into account that you are part of a team, that is part of a squad, 1 round every 2 to 3 seconds from every guy in that squad is a lot of fucking bullets. Alright, and that's not even taking into account the 2 guys that are carrying the saw. Alright, so the M4 can put down a lot of suppression fire when you spread it out across an entire rifle squad. So, a sustained rate of fire, to give you guys an example, is going to sound something along the lines of this. Alright, that would be a sustained rate of fire. Now, a rapid rate of fire is essentially doubling that. So you have 2 rounds every 2 to 3 seconds. This is generally where guys are going to just double tap. Alright, and this is for targets inside of 250 meters. So a sustained rate of fire would sound something like this. Now, or sorry, a rapid rate of fire. Sounds like that. Now, a cyclic rate of fire, despite what you may have the assumption of, a cyclic rate of fire does not mean you just hold down the fucking trigger on full auto. Alright, a cyclic rate of fire is doubling the rate of fire of a rapid. Alright, so you're going to send 4 rounds every 2 to 3 seconds, which means you're going to fire in a burst. Alright, so you'll flip the fun switch on the M4, send it to full auto, which you do by hitting foxtrot, and it is used for targets that are what's considered danger close, alright, inside of 100 meters. So it would sound something like this. Alright, so that would be a cyclic rate of fire for the M4. Everybody tracking on that?
Yes, for certain.
Yes, for certain.
Yes, for sure.
Outstanding. Stand by. Alright, next weapon system we're going to be covering is the saw. Now, as I told you guys earlier, the saw is only fired in bursts. Alright, so a sustained rate of fire for the saw is a 3 to 5 round burst every 2 to 3 seconds or so. So it would sound something like this. Now, an easy way to achieve that 3 to 5 round burst is a phrase that they teach you. That phrase is die, motherfucker, die. Alright, so you say that phrase when you hit the trigger and hold it down, and when you finish that phrase, let go of the trigger. It gives you a quick 3 to 5 round burst. Now, a rapid rate of fire, again, is doubling it. Alright, so you get 6 to 10 rounds every 2 to 3 seconds. That would be a rapid rate of fire. Easy way to achieve that is say the phrase twice in your head. Now, when it comes to cyclic rate of fire for the saw is very fast. All right, you're sending a lot of rounds down range because you're sending 10 to 12 rounds down range every 2 to 3 seconds. All right, so cyclic, obviously using for danger close enemies, you'll go through ammo very quickly. The main thing to keep in mind when using the saw is ammo conservation. Alright, you will generally go out there with about 1,000 rounds of ammunition between what you're carrying on your person and the other guys in your team are carrying for you as extra. So you have to keep in mind that there is never a guarantee that we will get resupplied. So you have to try and make that 1,000 rounds last for an entire operation. Sometimes that's just not doable. You're engaging targets too often, you're not going to be able to make that 1,000 rounds last. In that situation, that's where you lean on the other guys in your team or the other guys in your squad to, be able to get you some more ammo, or potentially guys from other squads to be able to get you some more ammo. But ammo conservation is something you always have to keep in the back of your mind. All right, does anybody have any questions on that? Nope. All right. All right, so what we're going to do now is actually stand by for one moment.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
All right, so what you guys are going to do is I'm going to give you about 10 minutes or so to use the different weapon systems, or the different rifles that we have gone over. You look over there, there's a Connex box. That Connex box is an arsenal. Alright, you are cleared to use any of the rifles that are in that arsenal on this range. That being said, do not fire any HE on my fucking rifle range. So no, you will not be using a grenade launcher out here. But any of the rifles or machine guns that are in that box, you are cleared to use. Alright, you guys will move up, take positions along the shooting bays. If you need to double up, go ahead and do so. Just make sure you guys are fucking shoulder to shoulder when you're firing, and you're not firing from behind one another. Alright, does anybody have any questions?
Interrogate it for a Sergeant. Could I restart?
Yeah, but it's interrogative, not interrogative. You're not questioning me. Yes, go ahead and restart if you need to. Once you get back in, I will bring you back out here. Alright. Any other questions? Alright. Go ahead and get spread out amongst the shooting bays. If you want to try something other than the M4, go ahead and go to the box and grab something else. The range is hot. You're clear to fire whenever you're ready. Yeah, we definitely don't have tiers here. I think I'm technically tier 10.
You guys want to go grab the saw, go grab it.
And thank you guys for the follows that I missed there. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, sometimes I'm a little too busy to be able to thank you guys right away. I don't think anybody's grabbed the 249 yet. Oh, Jacob, you can put links to TSB in here. I don't give a shit. I mean, that's... LaRue's a very good friend of mine. I have no problem with his group being advertised in my channel. They're two completely different things. Somebody's got the shotgun out there. Yeah, last class, fucking everybody grabbed a saw, like, immediately. Alright, we will go, grab Branch real quick. I don't want to fucking open the map.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
Alright, where is Branch hiding? There he is. Alright, Branch, I'm going to teleport you back out to the range. There's an arsenal there, so you'll be able to gear up out there, alright?
We'll go for Sergeant.
Alright, stand by. Box over there, Branch. Back behind you. Small Connex box. Oh yeah, the saw is definitely the fun weapon to use. I mean, I prefer the 240 just because of the knockdown power that it has, but wish we could use fucking bigger belts for it. But we also don't carry near as much ammunition in a weapon squad as what an actual weapon squad carries. Like, those guys are carrying fucking 1,000+ rounds each guy. Like, I was watching fucking one of Jocko's podcasts from last week, I think it was, maybe the week before, and he had a guy on there that was a weapon squad leader, and he carried like 2,000 rounds for the 240 on him. As a squad leader, he carried 2,000 fucking rounds. Yeah, the 249 is kind of like the average black cock of freedom. Oh, and for those of you that are new in here or weren't here at the start, we will be live again tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for Task Force Charlie's operation, where I will be filling in. Again, I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. We'll see where I get a spot at, but I'll be filling in tonight. And then tomorrow we have day 2 of OSUT at 1300. And then Task Force Bravo's operation, where I'll be Zeusing again. So if you guys want to see Zeus stuff, that'll be tomorrow. Tonight, I'll be filling in. And Fusion and Tugi, thank you guys for the follow. And then through the week, we got some races scheduled. And then Wednesday, we got the podcast, which, if you guys weren't able to make it to the first podcast last week, definitely recommend trying to catch one of them. I had a lot of fun doing it. Guys seem to enjoy it. So that'll be Wednesday at 1800. We'll be doing the second podcast. And I'm actually doing a giveaway this week in the podcast. I'll be giving away a copy of the Laws of War DLC. So if you guys want a free copy of Laws of War, make sure you come by the podcast Wednesday night, and we'll give you a free copy of it. Hey, Feppers, thank you for the follow. Oh, that sucks, Cope. I picked it up, but I haven't picked it up for myself. I just bought it for the giveaway. Yeah, that damn LaRue guy always hosting me. Yeah, LaRue's a very good buddy. If you guys have not already, for some reason, make sure you go check out LaRue and give his channel a follow. Good friend, does quite a bit of shit with us. He's actually going to be on the podcast one of these days. He'll be one of my guests. Yeah, put myself in the giveaway. Nah, I really don't need the Laws of War. There's nothing that we're gonna use it for in the unit. The only DLC that we use is Apex. All the rest of the stuff we don't use. And if the unit doesn't use it, I don't really need it. Even the scroll stuff, we don't use any of the DLC shit. Oh yeah, absolutely, Cope. I mean, like I said, we can just sit down on a weekend and record something, but as far as like being live on the show, yeah, as soon as you go on vacation, or you get a Wednesday off or whatever, just let me know and I'll get you on there. Alright, ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire.
Ceasefire, gentlemen.
Go ahead and condition for your weapons. Come down here, school circle in front of me. Alright, sounds good, Ron. Alright, Rainey, please stop pointing the 12 gauge shotgun at my fucking foot.
No apologies for Sergeant, it is unloaded.
I don't give a shit if it's loaded or not. Alright. Do you guys feel you have a basic understanding of some of the weapon systems that we use?
Yes, for Sergeant.
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. Now, unfortunately, we can't sit out here all goddamn day on the range. It would be nice if we could, but we don't have the time for it. And I don't like you guys enough to sit here for 4 fucking hours watching you shoot rifles. So, that being said, does anybody have any questions on any of the shit that we have covered today? And keep in mind, there truly is no such thing as a stupid fucking question. If you are curious on anything, now is the time to ask. Private Lynch.
Yes, for Sergeant. In the arsenal, I don't know if my loadouts are broken. It wouldn't allow me to load anything except the base loadout and automatic rifleman.
Then it means you have something in those other loadouts that is not correct.
Roger.
Not a huge deal right now, as it does allow you, Arsenal right now, or at least it did before the update, I haven't checked it since then, does still allow you to load grayed out loadouts. But the main thing to do is probably tomorrow, if we get a quick chance, if we take a break for a minute, you'll have to rebuild your loadouts and you'll use that student reference document. All right, because every loadout is laid out in there, and you have to use one of our arsenals here in class. You can't use a full arsenal because there's a good chance you'll fuck it up. But I'll give you a few minutes tomorrow probably to rebuild your loadouts real quick, so then you know they're 100% good to go. All right.
Roger. Thanks for Sergeant.
All right. Anybody else got any questions?
Go for Sergeant.
All right. I'm not sure if Branch over there is having a fucking seizure or if he's being possessed, but either way, it's creeping me the fuck out. So stop moving your head like that. All right. So that is going to be it for day 1. All right, now come tomorrow, we're going to be back at it. Same bat time, same bat channel. Tomorrow is a big day. All right, you guys are going to have a shit ton of information thrown at you. Make damn sure you're taking good notes and you pay attention to what we're telling you as instructors, because the shit we're going to be covering tomorrow is going to be the fundamentals of what we do here when it comes to fire and maneuver. All right, and tomorrow is going to be your guys' first chance to get into a live fire situation where you're actually engaging real targets, and they're going to be engaging you. All right, so tomorrow is going to be a big day. Hopefully all of you guys are going to be able to make it. If for some reason you're not, make sure you shoot me a message on the forums and let me know you're not going to be able to make it, and we'll get you in the next cycle or whenever we can. All right, but that's going to be it. You guys are done. You are dismissed. Go ahead and disconnect from the server and enjoy the rest of your fucking Saturday afternoon.
You too for Sergeant.
Alright guys, that is going to be it for OSUT Day 1. Thank you guys for hanging out today, and hopefully you enjoyed. Again, we'll be back live here in about 4 hours, a little over 4 hours for Task Force Charlie, where I'll be filling in, and hopefully I will see you guys then. Thank you guys for all of the follows today, and as well as all of the support via donations and so on. You guys are fucking awesome. Yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you all later.